Rev up your engines! All right, we got a brand new car today. 2023 Honda CRV hybrid, top of the line from Ontario. It was made in Ontario, so why not get one from Ontario, right? He paid 48 Canadian dollars, so that's less than American dollars. All-wheel drive, and it's a hybrid. Now, if you're gonna buy one of these things, you got two choices now. Open the hood, I'll explain. And look, this isn't a cheapie. There's no little metal rod. It's got hydraulics on it. So, hey, it is a 2-liter Honda engine. It's the Atkinson cycle to get better gas mileage. And it's a hybrid, so it's got an electric motor and it's got a battery in the trunk. The choice for this is a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine. Something this big, 1.5 isn't enough, so of course they turbocharged it. Well, I don't like little turbocharged engines. They won't last as long. In the real world, they won't get the gas mileage they advertise now. It gets 40 miles a gallon in the city and 36 on the highway because it's a hybrid. It regenerates electricity. You can't really argue that. And these are real figures. This isn't some made-up crap. This is what he actually gets. And when you look inside, you can see it's got a lot of room. The fake leather seats, which of course will last longer. And for those who feel cramped the space, check it out. Look, it actually goes a little more than 90 degrees. You got a lot of room to get in and out the back seat. It isn't one of these you're squeezing in to get in. Hey, don't even get me talking about this Polaris, man. Climbing in and out of this thing is a chore. And it doesn't even have doors. It's all-wheel drive. And from my experience with the Hondas and their hybrids, they're pretty much like Toyotas. They're extremely dependable. You take care of them, they can last an awful long time. Even though I'm not really a fan of hybrid because I keep my cars 20, 30, 40 years, and I know how much it costs to fix that stuff. I've got all the new equipment for working on them, and I know it costs a fortune. Something like this probably won't break down till it gets, I don't know, 150, 180, 200,000 miles or more. So you're happy with that. Yeah. But I'm happy with 3, 4, 500,000 miles. So I'm a cheapskate. So in that case, personally, I wouldn't buy this or its sister ship because it's a 1.5 turbo. I definitely would not buy a 1.5 turbo. It's going to wear out a lot faster. This engine is an Atkinson cycle. They put out actually less horsepower. That's why it needs the electric boost. But they can last a really long time. They don't have all this turbocharged rammed air that's going to wear them out faster like the 1.5-liter turbo does. So if you really are looking at longer life with this, you'd probably be better off getting a hybrid than getting a 1.5-liter turbo engine. Plus, in the real world, you're going to get a lot better gas mileage. Try finding something like this. It's just nice that gets 40 miles a gallon in town. Good luck. Now, they've been selling the heck out of CRVs for decades, right? It's number 2 in the United States to the Rav4, which is its main competitor. They both offer hybrids. You know, the only difference is the Rav4 offers an actual automatic transmission. But as this owner just told me, he's got a friend who's got a new Rav4 fancy multi-speed transmission. He didn't like driving it because it's doggy. And I gotta admit, it gets phenomenal gas mileage. We rented one in Death Valley. We got like 55 miles a gallon going 50 miles an hour. Park had a lower speed limit, so we went slower, right? So he got phenomenal gas mileage. But it did not have the acceleration this thing has because this does have a CVT transmission. All the hybrids I've ever seen have a CVT transmission, but it's an eCVT transmission. Now, if you want to just test it out yourself, you're thinking about buying one, hey, you can listen to me. I'll give you all the technical specs, but I am not your rear end sitting there and driving it. Road test them to see what you like, because the Honda CRV that has the regular CVT and a 1.5 turbo gasoline engine, you're going to find out that this thing shifts a heck of a lot better than that one does. Because this has an eCVT and the other one just has a normal CVT. Honda doesn't offer automatic transmissions in those anymore. You know, if you want an automatic transmission, you'd have to go to a Rav4. Not the hybrid Rav4, because the hybrid is a CVT. It's an eCVT just like this thing is. Of course, it has all the modern conveniences, you know. You kick it and it opens. I kicked it and it stopped. We'll kick it again. And it's warning you. It's not as fast as me, but you know, and it's got the giant hydraulics because it's opening and closing itself. And you can see he's got the security flap there. I like that. And there's plenty of room for what you're carrying. And if you're not carrying a bunch of people, just like our Matrix, pop the seats down. You got tons of room for carrying stuff with. Let's see if it'll close now. It doesn't like me. Let's take it for a spin and see what this hybrid does. First thing I gotta say is the seats are ultra comfy. And they're gonna stay comfy because they're not leather, they're fake leather. Of course I have this, I'm not a fan, but it's got a push button. And it has an electric parking brake. Well, what can you do? Got a nice wide angle lens. Camera for the backup so you can see the lights matrix. It is a nice backup camera. Check it out, so. We're going to put it into sport mode. Tells you right there it's in sport mode. And you can hear the noise. Listen, the angels are with us. As you can see, it's got a really nice heads-up display here. I like the gauges too. Not only do you have your speedometer on the right, but you also have it there. And he switched it over to miles per hour because he's driving the United States. And of course it has the 50 limit because you can see, okay, this thing goes to 220, right? No, it's not the only CRV hybrid that does 220 miles an hour. That's 220 kilometers an hour. And it's brand new, everything's good in it. Now, these roads in Rhode Island, I say, are terrible. And, okay, you feel some of the bumps. It is an SUV, but it rides perfectly fine. On the flat road, it's totally smooth. When you get a somewhat high, somewhat boxy vehicle, you're always going to get a little rough riding when you get on really crappy roads. Now we're at the opening here, and there's nobody on the right, so we'll wait to the left, and here we go. Woo! Hey, it makes a nice sound too. Let me tell you, a lot of these are too quiet. Honda wasn't stupid. This has a dual exhaust on it, and it really makes a good sound. With the hybrid engine, it's got plenty of oomph. Now, you're not going to be getting 40 miles a gallon if you drive like I just did, but when you want to, you can. And being a Honda, you know, it's going to handle perfectly fine. They sell an awful lot of these CRVs. There's a lot of reasons why. Originally, Honda was way behind Toyota with hybrids. The Prius just blew them away. Honda couldn't give away their little hybrids. I remember seeing showroom floors full of them in Houston, and they put them in the lots. They couldn't sell them. But they pretty much caught up with Toyota now. Of course, it's whisper quiet when you're just going slow. And realize it's not a plug-in hybrid. It doesn't drive around miles and miles on the battery. It's a boost system that works quite well to get better gas mileage, and you can twirl around really slow for a little while on electricity, but you won't be going far or fast. Smooth ride, but when you want power, there it goes. And of course, it's got all the modern conveniences, lane departure, you can see the picture over there. All that stuff, I don't trust my life for any of them, but I mean, it comes in handy if you're not paying attention. So there you have it, a brand new CRV, the hybrid version. Phenomenal gas mileage, nice zippy pickup. Certainly Honda dependability wasn't all that bad, because that's 48,000 Canadian dollars, smooth ride, phenomenal gas mileage, lots of space. If you're looking for a hybrid SUV, I'd say road test this and road test the Rav4. And buy the one you like, because they're both well made, right? This is a bit zippier than the Rav4 is. Or you might be a Toyota fan, you want to get a Toyota. You know, you might want a Toyota automatic transmission, but from my experience, you're going to pay a little bit more for the Toyota hybrid. They're really in demand, and around here, they're going for 5-10 grand over sticker, and he actually paid less than sticker for this. Maybe it's just the Canadians being nice, and East Coast Americans not being so nice, but I mean, either way you look at it, this thing was made in Ontario, it stays in Ontario, and hey, I'm impressed. This thing was made in Ontario and it still runs forever, so what the heck? Honda's been making Hondas in Ohio forever, and they make great cars there. In the case of this hybrid, hey, it's brand new. I forecast good things for this vehicle. Yeah, it might not go 400,000 or 500,000 miles with the hybrid drive. You got to put a little money in it, but on the other hand, it's probably going to go hundreds of thousands of miles. All you're going to have to do is change the oil. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Tom Westbrook says, new cars don't offer manual transmission. I want to get rid of my 20-year-old Buick. I went to the Honda dealer and they were all automatic CVTs. What do you think? Hondas and Toyotas make pretty good transmissions, right? I personally like regular automatic transmissions. Now, you can still buy a Rav4 that has an 8-speed automatic transmission that works phenomenally, right? They also have CVT transmissions, and they're still pretty well made. In the world, Toyota makes the best CVTs. They make a CVT that's a combo. It's got an actual first launch gear that it takes off in, then it switches to CVT mode once you're out of the regular first gear. That's the best one in the world. They're really good transmissions, right? And Honda doesn't make that most of their models. They just have a regular CVT, but it's a Honda designed and built CVT, which is a good CVT, so they're decent. I am not a fan myself. I would rather get a regular automatic transmission because they have good history, they get good gas mileage, and I just like them better. They feel better, they're more fun to drive. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.